Gratitude is fuel for the actions I partake in. So in doing what I love, I get to keep it up. Perceptions leave much room to be mistaken. So in doing what I say, my word is covenant. I expect nothing but the best from myself, not myself nor me. Putting personality under subordination of the master key, which is the most I in I and I. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Whatever you do.
And I'd like to say Akwaba. Welcome, everyone. You all have arrived at the 6th Annual Black Sustainability Summit. My name is Njideka Kamo, and I will be the moderator for today's very, very special keynote workshop. There's a disclaimer that I would like to read to you at this time. It's trust and verify. All of our presenters are doing solid work. Their affiliation with our summit is due to our alignment with their goals and mission. The presentation provided at our summit does not constitute an endorsement of the views, products, or services. And we'd like to give thanks to our booths, which are the Black and operated sponsors. Me Paucho, and excuse me, if your mic is open, I'd like to encourage everyone to close your mic unless it is time for you to speak. Go ahead and mute your mics if you would. Medasipa. So we want to individually thank Black Handcraft, the Collard Green Festival, Sustainable Community Solutions Network, Eco Womanist Institute, and the Adiki, Aya International Development and Indigenous Knowledge Institute. Yay. We also want to give thanks to our Black Sustainability Summit Committee of Volunteers, all of the hard workers that have created a very, very good event from A to Z. Yes, I want to personally thank you as well. We all have arrived at this time in our current session. It is our keynote panel discussion, and the title is Youth Action in Agriculture, Waste, Climate, and Water Management in Ghana. So there's a few things that I want to take care of before we begin officially. First thing is, like I said before, make sure that you mute your microphones. And if you don't, one of our support team will do that for you. So just know it ahead of time. We are recording this session. If you miss a part or all of this session, the recording will be available to you at a later date. And
your mic just closed.
And everything here in Ghana seems to be amplified. Medasi for that feedback. I appreciate that. So I too need to minimize the background noise, but I won't be talking too much longer. I welcome everyone. And how about, in order for the follow-up team to follow up with you, and as well, if you receive a link from us with the recording, you also will receive the chat log. And so if you right now, during and at the end of this session, want to put your own personal contact information in the chat box, please do. That way, as we are networking, we really are networking indeed. As far as your questions or comments or gaining access to some very, very good resource information, there will be a 30-minute Q&A after this presentation. After all of the panelists have given their presentations, they will take 30 minutes in order to answer your question, and there's ways that you can chime in. You can just use the device in order to raise your hand, you know, that little brown hand, hopefully it's brown. Unmute your microphone and just come on the mic and ask your questions. And then also check, you can put your question into the chat box, and then myself and others will be looking out for your questions indeed, okay? Again, you've arrived at the keynote panel discussion, Youth Action in Agriculture, Waste, Climate, and Water Management in Ghana. My name is Njideka Kamo, and I will be your moderator for today. So if I yet, I'd like to very much use the word dynamic, as well as talented and brilliant. As today's keynote session, you know, usually keynote sessions are designated to maybe well-known, time-honored presenters. But I love the fact that the committee, the Black Sustainability Summit, chose youth and their presentations and highlighting their hard work to be this summit's keynote address session. Yes. And so a little description of what they'll be presenting today. These are dynamic, I said it again, youth representing 3 agricultural environmental programs in Ghana, here in Ghana, Green Africa Youth Organization, GAYO, Ghana Youth Environment Movement, GIM, and Grow West Africa. They will share current critical challenges and progressive solutions that they are engaged in, actively restructuring their own future. Indeed, indeed. And so today we will be listening, our first panelist, his name is Othniel Boateng from Grow West Africa. Our second 2 panelists come from the same organization called GAYO, Sister Betty Bonsu and Michael Apia. And then our fourth, last but definitely not least, our final panelist is Gloria Achare from GIM. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a little background on our first panelist. His name is Othniel Boateng from Grow West Africa. His overall topic today is West African farming issues and solutions. However, he, without question, wants to stress to you a topic that is very, very close to his heart, bridging the gap. Mute your mic just for a second. Bridging the gap in the agricultural sector for sustainability through the spike of youth interests. Through the spike, increasing the youth interest. And he'll explain more about that here in a minute. Othniel Fosu Boateng is an agronomist, the CEO of Green Shed Farms, a senior at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and a product of Grow West Africa. He is currently the Ashanti Regional Representative for PGS Ghana in the aim of helping our local and smallholder farmers to adopt the best cultural practices, which is organic farming, to help protect nature and life. So without any further delay, I'd like us all to warmly welcome our first panelist, Brother Othniel Boateng. Welcome.
Okay, so as we all know, there are in Ghana to be precise, but I would like to focus on one major issue, that is youth in agriculture. Hence the topic, as we all heard, bridging the gap in agricultural sector for sustainability through the spike of the youth interest. I will be centering my whole speech and presentation around 2 main topics. The first one, we'll be looking at issues bumping in, which is affecting the average age of Ghanaian farmer and the future threats. Secondly, I'll be also looking at the gradual declination of the youth interest in the current agricultural and agribusiness sector, as we all know. So, delve much into the first point, as we see, the rural-urban migration and its effect on the current age of the average Ghanaian farmer. The agricultural sector alone employs about 50% of the Ghanaian citizens. 90% of these agricultural production, we all know, happens in our rural areas, meaning much of the production when it comes to agricultural production happen in these rural areas. No doubt to that, we know these farmhands are made up of youth with much energy and strength to help with the production or the day-to-day activities in the farm. For quite some time now, the growth expectancy of these agricultural sector hasn't been as because huge number of these youth are migrating from these rural areas where these farmers are in urban areas. Statistics by the UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs projected that it's expected that 56% of the rural folk will be migrated to the urban centers. Currently, we have 40% of urban folk, and then by the estimation, as I said earlier, by the Union Department of Economic and Social Affairs, gives it out that it will increase, the urban population will increase from 40% to that of 56%, meaning reducing the rural folks or the rural population by a very marginal, a huge marginal difference. This goes a long way to affect the farming practice or the farming production that is being carried on in these areas, which signs or signals a very great warning to us. It will serious issues that will be discussed as we go on with this presentation. One major issue that has been observed is the gradual declination of the youth interest when it comes to agriculture and the agribusiness sector. The youth of today do not show much interest in the agricultural sector as a result of the poor image involved in the agricultural production activities. Gone are the days school farms and school gardens where children or students engage in farming activities to broaden their knowledge when it comes to agriculture, to develop their income, develop much more skills and knowledge when it comes to agricultural. All these things are no more. It can be seen anywhere. Curriculums that were designed to help students learn much more about agriculture and its development are no that were set up purposely to help train youth in the field of agriculture, other forms of institutions that are not agricultural related. And this gradually has affected the youth interest in the field of agriculture, in a sense that I'm sure an average kid or an average Ghanaian child would never tell you that he or she will go or would want to grow up and become a farmer in the near future. This is very sad, isn't it? It's very sad. But there's still hope. This is why I'm so passionate that I would want to help out with this together with the organization that's Grow West Africa to contribute immensely into helping solve these issues from our point of view, with a little contribution that we hope gradually will have effect on this problem as we want to solve it hand in hand. So all these topics we've discussed, or all these major issues we've discussed, turns out to cause a very huge, significant effect. The very first one that is resulting from this is the food security threat. If major number of these farmers, or this major number of our farmers are moving from these farming areas, or the rural urban areas, then we are scared of a huge food security threat. Why do I say so? The average Ghanaian farmer age is now around 55. Their life expectancy is also around 55 to 60 years, meaning sometime to come, little or no food will be produced from our rural areas. We have to depend on the food imported, which we all know that most, and so we would have issues with malnutrition or not having good and quality, healthy food to eat. That is why the need for concern and action to help curb this issue. Again, as we also saw earlier, statistics shows that agriculture is 10% of the Ghanaian population. And if agriculture is being flawed, anyhow, then definitely we should expect high unemployment rate in our sector. These issues and many more that we can talk about, we all know is stemming up from these major problems. So over here, how does Grow West Africa come in to solve the problems churning out from these? Is a holistic thing that Grow West, but we believe that the little effort that is being made would gradually help to control or help to reduce the effect that could threaten life. So some of the things that Grow West Africa looks to, or to help initiate programs and activities to train the youth into sustainable agricultural practices. Grow West Africa focus mainly on biointensive, which is growing produce organically, focusing on large yield, protecting the environment, and also sustaining nature. Grow West Africa, with all its projects, have been able to train farmers all around Ghana, with its partners like GIZ and PGS Ghana. I personally am a product from Grow West Africa. I started my training process and currently I'm also on the move trying to train people to adopt good cultural practices. It's mobilizing youth, women in small-scale farming, bringing farmers together so that they grow well when it comes to agriculture and its practices. Grow West Africa wants to contribute immensely into these issues stemming up from these environmental problems. First of all, we came up with a plan to set up gardens or school farms in the various government schools. It's quite unfortunate, Grow West Africa does not have much resources to on this project. But once we have plans and we have dreams to embark on a project, and the resource we will need definitely will come to pass. It's a gradual effort, and we know with time we'll be able to achieve. So we are looking at setting up school farms, school gardens, where students in these schools will partake into the farm activities as part of their daily activities as students. How would they benefit from this? First of all, they would benefit from the produce on the farm. They will get a good and a balanced meal to support their food, their canteen or their daily food production or intake on school. Secondly, they can also make sales out of these farm produce. Not just any farm produce, but organically grown farm produce, which are healthy for consumption and also environmentally friendly. Lastly, what would they benefit from these farm setups or these farm gardens in these schools? Lastly, the interest and the skills that we see to be flowing away as a result of change in educational curriculum, change in some educational activities as we see currently. The youth will start developing interest in the field of agriculture, in the sense that going in sacks, going in bags, going on land, on field, and they would also enjoy all these activities as they keep on going on. At the end of the day, the wide gap we see emerging from all these activities, that the young Ghanaian sees a farmer to be poor, will change. That everybody, every kid would want to be a farmer in the future. I know with your support and your encouragement, your motivation, this goal for Grow West Africa would definitely all share the joy together in the future. Thank you very much.
Medasi pa, Brother Othniel, thank you so much. And everyone, you see growwestafrica.org, their contact information on the screen at this time, but we will share contact information at the end as well. I'd like to go ahead and move on to our next presenter. She is part of a duo that represents Gaio. Her name is Betty Osei Bansu, and she will be talking today about zero waste action. So now we're in the sector of waste management going on here in West Africa, specifically Ghana. Sister Betty is an environmentalist who is very passionate about nature. She is the project coordinator for Green Africa Youth Organization, or GAIO, where she is championing and replicating those sustainable community project to other regions. Okay. This project is providing jobs for over 30 youth and women in rural communities, formalizing and building the capacity of informal waste pickers while diverting waste from landfills. So, Sister Betty, we give the mic and the floor to you, and Akwaba, welcome and thank you. Sister Betty.
Thank you very much. I hope you can see and hear me clearly.
Clearly, yes.
Great. There's a saying that waste is not waste until it is wasted. My name is Betty Osei Bansu, as she has introduced me, and I'll be taking you through one of our priority and heart love projects, dubbed the Accra Zero Waste Project. These are the table of contents. I'll introduce you to who we are as an organization, the Zero Waste Project, the objectives of the project, the progress made, and some challenges. And lastly, then I conclude and go my way. Next slide, please. Anna, are you sure you can see me? Because I can see you on my screen and not myself.
I see you and hear you crystal clear, my sister.
Great. So who are we as an organization? Green Africa Youth Organization is a youth-led gender-balanced advocacy group that focuses on environmental sustainability and community development. Our thematic areas include climate change, disaster risk reduction, and circular economy. With all my presentation today, I'll be taking you through circular economy, and hopefully Michael will come and take you through climate change aspects of the organization. The previous slide, sorry. Thank you. And our mission is to reach out and provide solutions to pressing environmental issues through youth empowerment, skills development, and public education. Thus, with this, we have currently established eco clubs in the various project areas. For this, our zero waste project, it is currently happening in 4 regions currently in Ghana, including Kumasi, Abrakwa, we also have Adansi South, Edubiasi, then we have Accra, Greater Accra, and then Cape Coast. And the vision is to create a world whereby conserving the natural environment will be the #1 priority for all the masses. Thus, reach out to the foundation and reach out to all the masses. Before we begin with this project, what do? We do what we call community entry. We enter into the community and we target the head, usually at the assemblies. So why do we partner with the assemblies? So that they can reach out to the community. And with this Zero Waste Accra project, the aim is to develop a sound waste management strategy to institute zero waste practices across municipalities in the country and beyond. So how did we actually start this project? Why did you just stand up that we want to build a sound waste management strategy? We didn't start now. This project started 2014. Next slide, please. How did it start? The Accra Zero Waste Project was inspired by Gaio's Sustainable Community Project that began in the Adansi South District of Ghana. And the aim was to deliver a community-led zero waste project, which can create values to communities whilst reducing waste from the landfills. So what was the aim? Okay, we said in communities, looking all around us, usually in the global south here, you have waste so much. Is it from the sachet we drink, the water? Is it from what we send to market? Is it from our household waste? Is it from acquiring energy? We said, okay, why don't we tap into some resources we have in our environment and see what we can convert them into? Then the target was 4 particular items, which include the sachet rubbers, coconut husk agricultural waste, organic waste. So these 4 items are what we targeted. What did we do with them? We decided to recycle the sachet rubbers into durable products like raincoats, as you see on the screen, raincoats, bathroom curtains, handbags, shower curtains, shower cap, aprons, diverse types of items. How did you do this? We reached out to the community, asked them what they wanted, how they wanted it. The community individuals, the same, they partook. We trained the ladies to produce these items and sell them for themselves. And currently, we've been able to generate more than 39,000 Ghana cedis from these rural areas to them. And currently, this project has created more than 30 green jobs and has built the capacity of informal waste workers. How did it happen? We do not just sit down and then the resources or the waste, as you would say, come to us. These waste or resources are brought in by the informal waste collectors. Usually, informal waste collectors go house to house, collect waste, and what do? They send it direct to landfills. How do we remove waste from landfills, convert them to revenue, and preserve the environment? So that is the thought. So currently, we are able to build their capacities. We teach them. Usually, you also see waste being dumped at junctions and hidden areas. These are because these waste pickers do not have the needed knowledge to be able to know what is good for the environment, or they feel, okay, they have needs to suffice. So because the distance of where they go and dispose the waste is further, they decide to dispose it off at a near area and just go back home. So why not just prevent all those obstacles? Rather, bring them to the closest facility for recycling. Not only are you just bringing them, but you're going to get some benefit from them. So you are selling waste. And following the success of this project at the Adansi South region of Ghana, then we've replicated this project to other areas. The first replica was Cape Coast, where we are working to recycle bottles. The next replica went to Accra, where currently now we are working with MMDAs as well as different various stakeholders to institute a capacity, or should I say a facility we are going to term the waste mall, where every waste has meaning. Next slide, please. Okay, so now, what is the zero waste concept? I'm sure most of you will say, okay, what is zero waste? What does that mean? Let me just give you the second definition. When you speak about zero waste, it means that we intend on sending nothing to the landfill. For example, if you go into a household, what do you see? You take a dustbin, you see sachet rubbers, you see PET bottles, you see black polyethylene bags, you see cloth, you see shoes, you see different types and forms of waste. We intend on sending nothing to the landfill. So how do we make this happen? Sachet rubber has where it's going to. Black polyethylene bag has where it's going to. The cloth has where it's going to. The shoes have where they are going to be recycled. So that is the thought. We reduce as much as we can and send little, which will also be recycled and compost when we cannot. Today is Saturday. I went to the market, and whenever I go to the market on Saturdays, I'm so happy because when I go, I'm able to achieve my zero rubber bag back home. When I go, I send my 3 sack bags, and with these sack bags, I'm able to put all the organic, like tomatoes, pepper, onion, into one bag. The next bag goes for yam, my potato, maybe oil, bread oil, and everything. And the women keep on just looking at me. Hey, madam, okay, you there, just add this tomato. Thank you for not collecting black rubber from me. Thank you for this, thank you for that. And I receive excess item. Rather than going to the market, you get to the market and all you have to do is, when you buy pepper, they put it in a black polyethylene bag, tie it for you, put it in your bag. The next onion, they tie it to the black poly. When you get to the house, what do? You don't even open it, you just tear it like seal. You tear the bag and send it direct into your waste bin, your waste bin. How can we keep on producing so much waste? Why do we just produce waste that we are actually going to send to waste? I don't understand. So let us reduce from the source. And this is what I do, and every day I'm very happy. And I'm able to teach my siblings, and it goes further to the campus clubs. Next slide. A picture there you can see is some of the compost piles we do at the Adansi South. Sorry, can you go back to the previous slide? As you can see, there's some compost piles here. This, I proudly say I was part of doing this compost, and I'm very, very happy because currently we are producing close to 4,000 kilograms of organic fertilizer every month for farmers to use on their farms. So you can see from the picture displayed, it goes through this process. Maybe after the question, you could ask me further. And you can see when the pile was opened, you can see the various types of waste. We just combine all from household waste to farm waste to kitchen waste to restaurant waste. We put them all together. We are able to get our compost. Next slide. Zero Waste Africa, the Grow West Africa has already illustrated the importance of organic compost. I don't have to go through that, but I've just showed you how it actually looks like. So now, the Zero Waste Accra project. What is it about? What is the objectives? Yes, as I mentioned, we envision to develop a sound waste management strategy that can be replicated across communities. A sound waste, zero waste strategy. We have a document that when you look at this document, you are able to see how to effectively manage all the various forms of waste in your community. And the objectives of this project is to deliver a community-driven zero waste strategy to divert waste from ocean, mangrove ecosystem for processing. Recently, we delivered a brand audit exercise in Accra here. Not to mention, the waste was so much. Every type of waste you see at the forefront. How can we drive waste from our ocean body? If you're able to produce, if you're able to make them into resources, every resources are tapped into. So if these items are actually known by the masses to be resources, you would not see them lying around. they would actually be recovered and sent to material recovery facilities. Next is to establish private-public partnership on this zero waste to actually be replicated. Why do we want to establish private-public partnership? Because nobody can do everything alone. No one can achieve anything alone. That's the reason why we have to work with every stakeholder that matters, from the fisher folks to the waste worker to the ministries. Private, public, let us together achieve partnership for the goal, SDG 17. And then lastly, to create new green and blue. When you say blue circular economy, it means in the ocean, we should not find a lot of waste there. Every waste in the ocean should be recovered and made use of. For vulnerable people in municipalities, not only are they also just taking those wastes to be sent to facilities, they can also recover those wastes and convert them to purposeful products for themselves. Next slide. What are the progress we've made on the Zero Waste Accra? This project started just January this year, and to this date, I can proudly say we've engaged more than 200 individuals from 64 stakeholder groups from different organizations. We've been able to put together a solid waste ecological committee that comes together to deliberate on actions on the project. We've been able to register 150 waste workers, which are currently now being formalized to be engaged as partners on the project so that they can be recovering waste. Next, we've been able to acquire a land that we are going to use as a material recovery facility so that we can use this to enable to recover the waste and bring on board different various types of stakeholders to recycle all this waste. Next, waste assessment and categorization. We've been able to get all the various types of waste within the municipality because this is part of the aim of the project. Before you can be able to get a strategy, you have to know what is existing before you can bring solution. And lastly, we've been able to draft the stakeholders report, 70% ready, and hopefully sorry about that. I hope you can see me. And currently, can you see me?
Yes.
I see the slide.
Okay. Can you go to the next slide, please? Next slide. Okay. And just recently, we are very proud to mention that we'll be launching this Zero Waste Accra strategy on the 28th World Cities Day. We'll be happening on the 31st, which is Sunday. However, I'll be hosting an event on the 28th of October to launch this Zero Waste strategy. These are some pictures from the workshops we've been having with various types of stakeholders, and we are looking forward to having a great and productive strategy that can guide waste management in municipalities and beyond. Next slide. So now, my question to every one of us in this room: what is your role in achieving a zero waste in your home? What is your role? For me, I go to the market with my own waste bag. What about you? It's left with you. The environment is in our hands. You mighty ocean. Let's start from ourselves, and together we can achieve a blue and green circular economy world. Thank you very much. My name is Betty Osei-Bonsu, project coordinator with Green Africa Youth Organization. Thank you.
Sister Betty. Wow. As you listen to our upcoming presenter, I'd like for you to peruse the chat box, Sister Betty, and check out all of the very positive and glowing comments. And people were following your presentation and also giving you some very positive feedback as well. Job very well done. We are going to actually move on to our final presenter today. Just give me a second and I will switch things over, please. Okay. All right, Black family. We have next on our presentation panelists, our final presentation, most likely, with a sister who is representing GYEM, Jim, and her name is Sister Gloria Ajare. Gloria Ajare is an environmentalist and aspiring food technologist with experience in youth education. I'm sorry, let me bring that back. Give me just a second, please. Trying to move, okay. Let me start that over. Gloria Ajare is an environmentalist and aspiring food technologist with experience in youth education and engagement, as well as cross-sectoral community-based project management in the areas of water, sanitation, and hygiene, WASH, and climate change. She speaks widely on issues related to agriculture and climate change, with an interest in women and youth inclusion in decision-making concerning the environment and food systems. Ms. Ajare is currently the Programs Officer for Ghana Youth Environmental Movement, that is the GYM, and a fellow of the Young Africa Leaders Initiative, YALI, West Africa. She has a degree in agriculture from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, CNUST, and is currently working on a framework to start a photo blog on issues broadly related to agriculture and food systems. Through this, she aims to address SDG 2 by sharing the information and knowledge on food scarcity, food security challenges, and how they could be mitigated right from the farm to our plates. So without any further delay, we warmly welcome you, Sister Gloria Ajare, Akwaba.
Thank you very much, Njidika. Please, can you see me? Can you all see me?
We see you clearly and hear you clearly.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so I want to thank you, yourself, and then the organizers of this summit. Thank you all for the opportunity to represent my organization, Ghana Youth Environmental Movement. So today I'm going to speak about two major projects that we have undertaken, I think in 2020 and then this year as well. And that is the Chinsu project and then the Green Club Schools project. So I think I sent the link to our video to you. So if our tech support team can show that 5 minutes video before I share some few information on our project, Chinsu, I'll be glad. Yes, the past slide is still up. I just saw that. So. Right, we're still waiting for the Chinsu video. Okay, so I think before it comes up, Chinsu is basically a community watershed project that was undertaken by Ghana Youth Environmental Movement in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Already in Accra, we have existing water inequality and water poverty. So realize that over 80% of the low-income communities in peri-urban Accra do not have access to clean and affordable water. And because of this, and also because of the COVID-19, where hand washing is a requirement to keep safe from the virus, realize that no, there's a need for us to undertake a project. There's a need for us to try and address this problem in our low-income communities. So I think the video is already up. Let me just save some words and then we can have our video being played. Thank you very much.
Eva defuna treba pa leti nyagoma yebana jujumedo ami pona chikra lemba wo vemi anu ye jichi janamia afimi akuta pochi anu ti akeno mi wa pe lawo gbo planyi o kata no anu aba enough danami le dukama.
My name is Gloria Ejare, Programs Officer for Ghana Youth Environmental Movement. The name of this project is Chensu, which comes from the Akan language, and it means share water. The objective of this project basically is to provide clean water for everyone, people living in urban Accra who are from low-income communities. To be good caretakers of this water kiosk. The reason why we are undertaking this project in Treba is that Treba has been faced with water issues since it's been years. And we also realized during our research that Treba only has access to 2 sources of water, which is the stream water and then rainwater reserve. So we realized that young children walk over a kilometer just to get access to clean water. So we saw the need to have this project here in this community in Accra. In this project, we involved the chief, we involved the Treba Youth Association leader, and then we involved the assemblywoman, and we involved the youth in the community as well.
Chifanya onofudana mila amwe katala Treba. Aba chifia kimi kuna chira the part o khana oku aba ku krefi makpo. Aba chikhale fi ma fi bana kuku. Agba torama. La pri enyi pri ogbo kata bana chanu. Mia gboto ha mi le chanu tamo na bi fampa le Treba nu to achipanyanti ta na ba gare mo kro ha mi ba yere council ifo nu vivi to achipanyanti abaka mi de mi le dukwama no ta makwa ba chinya ahina mi kata kule le dukwama siama unachi na nkanze achi nuga de bi ochi nuga mi chicho nuga ochi toga anyanu ochi toga danu ochi toga nu aka mi yola awo ba kule la kata ko le chire kaza Scare dollar very crowded. That far over my bring us a crab here. Le chi manu manuta. A come up with the Kamagava Alio. Tabaru Garamo crowd to San Bonami. We are called a churchy afi anonu. A dog crowd we may buy no chair down if you know. Oh, mio about a millionaire. You know not or mamu. Papa go afi pure water about the Gofia or food about Gamali, walk on pure water, I jam on a chi enumo. Pure water, Legia, Kafra, Atami, Akamata, Choga, Allo, go all of Fudana, Mia Moya Treba, Dukama, Yechinya, Titri, Dukamanami, Fudana in power.
What the Hagadura? Edemia Jevinami, but Fifia Chivamiagbo. I think I'm very connected. Did Fifia meet a do not be Chivat Telemianti. Young am number 2 Matato bucket, Kuaila Fico. Ava Kuchiku, Ava calling a Gazamoko, I'd call more do the Giaro, Aqua, former dough, Aqua, Ninaha, Akuko, Akonyang, a do Donami Paba, Nick Belemianti, Bernu Kata, a Shiavamiagbo.
Don't go, Madakone Hoa. Ba mi favia asenya favi fafa ye o to mi aja mi ko chi ko banami Chensu Gia Ghana Environmental Youth Association to ogbo ko movement ko banami de jonami ta kwa wi fi mi apojijo mi aza echinwi to yakonyanu akodanu anu hapo ha ta mi apa ga mi akoda kono pure water jama anu ajiji na mi ha ta mi pojijo re mi antipa mi apa do nya mi ba wana mi ta.
Going forward with this project, we will be working with a 7-member water board, where we have 4 ladies on board with 3 men. They will be checking the day in and day out activity of the water kiosk and run it smoothly, and also maintain the structure and also expand with time. This is just to achieve or meet the SDG goal 6, clean water and sanitation in low-income communities like Treba.
Hey, real quick, I wanted to tell you about a special promotion that we're running for Doodly, our flagship software product that allows.
We
Right.
definitely go ahead, sister. That was black tax.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was just about the Chinsu project in the Treba community. And I believe that each and everyone at least had or just got a fair idea on what we actually did in the community. Just to touch up on some few areas that maybe we couldn't cover entirely in our video is the creativity around our project, the Chinsu project, and the sustainability plan that was involved and then attached to this. So in ensuring that this project is sustainable, what we did was we involved everyone in the community, from the chief, that's the local governance structure, the government rep in the community, the youth leaders, churches, everyone, old women, and then even the children. This is because we wanted the community to own it. We wanted to buy in the community, for them to feel like even when Ghana Youth Environmental Movement is not there, this water kiosk is ours and we are going to take care of it. That is one part of the sustainability plan. Another part is that we developed a self-finance model around it, where the people are able to go to the kiosk, get water at a very affordable price than the ones that these private vendors bring to the community. So then we're able to generate income through this kiosk, and then the 7-member water board will be able to use that money to maintain the structure as the year goes by. So this is one of the things that we also incorporated. Another sustainability plan is the water board we created. These people are going to ensure that everything is in check, and it's actually made up of young people from the community. No one from GEM is part of that water board, only young leaders from the community. And that is just a bit about our Chinsu project. We are still looking out for ways in which we can expand to other communities as well. As at now, the water kiosk is about 700 households in the Treba community. Children do not have to walk over miles or over a kilometer to the next community to have access to clean water. And that is one thing we are really proud of. And we know that even after COVID, this is going to serve the community and do them a lot of good. So a quick one, if there are no questions, to our Green Club Schools project. Njideka, should I take questions, or I can just talk about our Green Club Schools project?
I think that you should move on to the green clubs, because in my opinion, everything is interconnected.
Awesome.
I have been searching for the source of some background and I can't find it. Maybe someone has joined us on the phone. If you can hear my voice, would you please go ahead and mute your mic, whether it's on whatever device that you have, in order for us to give 100% attention to our dynamic speaker at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So about our Green Club Schools project, the purpose of this project is mainly to involve young people, educate them on climate change, as we know that this has become a pressing issue now, and we know the effects that is going to have on the next generations. So we GEM saw the need that young people need to be, one, educated, need to be empowered, need to be taught on how to identify problems, environmental problems in our communities, and then find feasible solutions in their own capacity to address them. Government of Ghana, yes, has undertaken an initiative, which is the Climate Change Learning Strategy for basic school children. So basic school children in the primary level are taught a bit about climate and all of that environmental issues. But we at GEM felt that it is not enough. There's a need for us to widen the scope. There's a need for a curriculum that will be able to cover an action base, will be context topic specific on issues related to the environmental, to the environment that we find ourselves, especially in Ghana. And so we developed a curriculum that will be used by senior high school students and not only the primary school students. So we started with Opokuwari Senior High School, which is a single boys school. And then we also chose St. Monica's, an all-girls school. Now, we chose these schools, the gender schools, because we felt women also are supposed to be involved, because when it comes to climate change, women are mostly affected. Even when you look at this WASH project, the young women and then the young ladies in the community are mostly affected by the water issues at home. So we felt that there's a need for us to involve women in this education. We drafted a curriculum, and that is being used currently in all the schools. It's a 2-year program, and we partnered with the Swiss University to ensure that we are able to reach out to the young children, develop their capacity to, their entrepreneurial capacity to, like I said, identify problem, find practical solutions to it. So this is basically about our Green Club Schools curriculum. And I will share the link so that you download it yourself and then have a look at how well structured our curriculum is. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm Gloria Jare, Programs Officer for Ghana Youth Environment.
Thank you, Sister Gloria Ajare. Well put together presentation. We love your video. We love videos because African people are just multi-sensory, and so we were able to see the colors and the people and obtain very good content information on the good work that you all are doing. I just can't say thank you enough, and I'll say it a few more times before we end today. But this actually is the beginning now of our Q&A session. And so I just want to remind everyone, certainly we have had many, many comments. All of the presenters that are here today, check out some of the comments to you specifically in the chat box. You can use the chat box also to ask questions, raise your hand with the little device in your dashboard, or you can just unmute your mic and speak the question. I'm actually going to start off our Q&A with following up with 2 comments that were left in the chat box. They were long comments, so I'm actually going to ask Nana Vivian to just verbally come on the mic and express. It's already in the chat box so people can see the specific information that you're going to talk about. But then, because I know you a little bit, you're such a warm, supportive person, I'd love to hear you. We'd love to hear you. And then Sister Afia, you also wanted to get some information to the presenters. And so verbally let them know the information. And then of course, they can refer back to the chat box. Okay, give thanks. Mama Vic.
That was the surprise, Ina and Jadeka. Hope I pronounced it correctly. Yes, everyone. I'm an educator, and I always say education is lifelong, and never stop learning, because life will never stop teaching. And so when I see wonderful things that the Black Sustainability Summit has been doing, I've been with them since they first started, and I just love it. All of the wonderful people. Yes, I am yet supposed to be retired, but no, I'm not. I'm the manager of the Rosa Parks Farmers Market in Charlotte, North Carolina. I came here about 11 years ago to retire, but retirement was not for me. And so we've done God has allowed me to do a lot of great work. I always put God, Allah first. That is so important in whatever you do. Yes, I am. I also am with the African Diaspora Development Institute. That is, if you haven't heard of her, that is Her Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Ericana Chiambori Kwao. So we also do work there. There's been a lot of great work going on. We're going to be, they're going to Ghana. They'll be in Ghana. They're going to be in Accra, and they're going to be in the Cape Coast. You saw I put the website link. I also gave you their email address. And if there's any problems, you can always send me an email. Great things are happening. The 3 areas that the I'm going to say ADDI, instead of saying the whole name, there are 3 areas that Dr. Ericana wants us to be involved with. There's others, but there's 3: mining, manufacturing, and farming. Farming is life. Food is life. So you can see why I'm also the manager of the Rosa Parks Farmers Market. Our youth, they are so highly intelligent. I don't have to know you. You are highly intelligent, and we need you. You are the leaders. I'm just here to assist. I am 73 years young. So just know we are counting on you. And always remember, there is many areas of farming, many technology, many areas you can be in. But we must maintain the farming, because that is our life. That is our food and water. All of these are valuable to us, and you can do it. So that's all I would like to say. And I thank you so much, and Jadeka, and we'll talk to you. I'll be talking to you very soon. Some great things happening, okay?
Come on, let's do this.
Yes.
From time I join in on the ADDI workshops, and I encourage everyone to definitely put that in your arsenal of African sovereignty work.
Yes.
Indeed. Before Sister Afia, and I believe you're still on with us, I think that's Mama Sakai's message. I want to read it now because I feel the same way. See, I'm going to tear up now. However, let me read it before the tears come. But Mama Sakai says it's a tearjerker. It's touching, compassionate work by youth and the adults and the ancestors upon whose shoulders they stand. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh. Can't say that enough indeed. And so with that being said, Sister Afia, I would go ahead and share your comments as well.
Okay, greetings everyone. I'm actually getting my mom settled from her breakfast, so I'm doing my caretaking duties. But so I'm not going to turn my camera on for you to see what's going on. But I will just briefly say that this is great. I've actually seen a lot of these organizations and the youth and their work that they've done in some of my planning for the organization that I'm trying to get off the ground in Ghana. As I mentioned, I was the country director for WaterAid for about 7, almost 8 years. So water infrastructure, wash projects, sanitation, hygiene, all those things are deeply embedded in what I do and think about all the time. So I'm looking forward to connecting with them, and we keep growing this network. That's what this network is for us to meet and see people who we can intergenerationally, talk to and work with and think through the issues to solving, the issues that we have in Africa and across the African diaspora. So Miss Mama Vivian, great to see you. Mama Arikana is absolutely a force to be reckoned with. And she actually, I'm the Vice President for African Heritage Studies Association. So she has been with us several times speaking, and she and I communicate all the time. So I'm aware of her, the initiative that's happening. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it back over there, but definitely let's all stay in touch. Everyone on this session, I think, is doing just powerful stuff, and we're moving in the right same direction. Give
Right.
thanks.
That's right. Give thanks, Mama Fia. It's no coincidence that we're dressing the same, talking the same stuff. Yeah, the content should be coming together. All roads are starting to come together on purpose. No coincidence, indeed. Again, I want to thank Othniel, Boateng, Sister Gloria Ajari, and Betty Bonsu. The questions now, I'd like to all of you answer either individually, but definitely as a collective. We have our fingers doing some blacktastic things, but when we bring those fingers together, that's real African power. And so I would like to start off the questioning now with asking all of you about you all. Have you partnered? See, I chose you separately. I found you, I contacted you, and you accepted my invitation. But my question is, are you working together? And you should be. And what projects have you worked on together? Or now that you all are back together again in this room, what projects could you possibly be working on in the near future, bringing it together? So I open it up to anyone who'd like to answer that. Give thanks. And Brother Othniel, you are muted. Sister Gloria is here, and Sister Betty, anyone can just join in, chime in.
Could you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Sure. The question basically has to do with any type of joint projects in the past, current, or future amongst the youth organizations that are represented at today's summit. GAIO, GEM, and Grow West Africa. Have you worked together? And what kind of projects are you foreseeing in the future that you could work together? One example would be the school project, because I know we need to connect with our young people where their learning institutions are at. But yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. I'll take this one. Yes, we are working with one particular organization, that's GM, Ghana Youth Environmental Movement, in the space of climate change. And that project has to do with not only building the capacities of young ones into having their voice when it comes to decision making in the centralized space, but however, it also transcends to having school projects and raising young ones within schools. One major event we even hosted in collaboration with GM is the local conference of youth in Ghana. That event, we just hosted it last month, and that was to prepare our national youth statement that will be presented at COI and sent to COP. So that's one particular project you're working on with GEM. And hopefully I can see a form of collaboration with West African movements in terms of the organic waste to fertilizers and to the farmers. Hopefully I look forward to future collaborations. However, these are the works you're doing with GEM. Thank you.
Medasi, thank you very much, Sister Gloria. Brother Othniel, Sister Betty.
Yeah, I'm also very happy to realize that I have these beautiful and well-informed ladies in the field of trying to help sustainability activities and programs here in Ghana. Like Betty said earlier, I think we have much things in common when it comes to the action plan. And so we could look forward and forming an alliance to embark on the school garden project that we think would be very much important and very useful to the youth, as we all can see. So I'll be looking forward to have much contact with both of them. I'm very glad to have with them. All right. Thank you.
Medasepa, Brother Othniel. Support team, Sister Betty had entered into the room twice, but I think she's a single entity now. And if you could make her co-host, but Sister Betty, are you able to just unmute yourself and chime in? If
yes.
Not,
I think
okay.
Betty spoke already.
Yes, I did.
Okay, Medasipa. Any?
So yes, I mean, Betty has said one key project that we are working together on, that's Ghana Youth Environmental Movement, and then bio. But from this, I think we can also collaborate with Othniel on his project. So both Ghana Youth Environmental Movement and Othniel can also engage in the school garden projects, because we also have a curriculum where we want children to actually translate what they've learned, the theory, into practicals. So we can have a collaborative work on this. And yes, we were supporting Gaio too on their brand audits. I think we're on the same page. We're supporting them to ban SUPs in Ghana. So that's single-use plastic. So yes, we are working together, and then we look forward to other collaborations. Thank you.
Yes, Medasipa, thank you. Your two voices sounded so much alike. My apologies, I thought one was the other, but the main news is that you are interested and have some upcoming projects that will definitely cross paths together, indeed. Anyone that would like, Brother Bill, please go ahead.
Oh, Betty, you mentioned assemblies. Can you tell me about how the assemblies work and how the assemblies priorities are shaped into student work and student projects?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. When it comes to assemblies, assemblies are the mother organizations when entering into a community. They're the first point of contact if you really want to get to the community. So that is how the system here in, should I say, Ghana works. So with projects, you reach out to them, you share your idea with them, you partner with them, and implement the project. However, in terms of with students, assemblies have their direct projects they do with student bodies, with student organizations. However, with respect to organizations and organization partnering to help or to do any project fostered in relation to the students, I see little of that happening here. However, we have other organizations that have actually been mandated to function to work with students, and some include the GES, Ghana Education Service. So those individuals are the ones that work directly with the student bodies. For the assemblies, they just deal with the communities in general and are not specific to student bodies. Apart from GES, we also have other organizations like NADMO, National Association for Disaster Management. These individuals, although they are into like disasters and risk-related activities, they are able to skew it to building capacities within schools. So this is one of our projects. When I mentioned some of the projects we are handling, disaster risk reduction was part. And with this, we are able to spread awareness on disaster risk reduction. And last year and this year, we're able to partner with NADMO and other organizations like UNICEF and UNDP to host quiz competitions just to inform students' population on disaster and climate risk, show us to equip themselves in terms of disaster risk related activities. So these are some works that mandated institutions do. However, the assemblies are mandated to just work with the communities. They usually do not have specific projects tied to youth and schools.
The assemblies include nearly everyone in the community, in the neighborhood, that general area?
Okay, we have assemblies situated at different districts. So we have municipal assemblies, we have metropolitan assemblies, depending on the size of the population within the particular area. So we have assemblies situated district by district. So these assemblies then report to the local government, then it goes that way. For the assembly, they have individuals that also report to them. These individuals are called the assemblymen. So the assemblymen are within the communities and are able to disseminate every information the assembly as a mother body gives to the assemblymen. And this assemblymen takes it to their maybe community get together, they're able to share the information. So that is how it works.
Thank you, Brother Bill, and thank you, Sister Betty, for the response. You see that there are blueprints already established, but I think the glaring issue is that these blueprints are not replicated enough in the community, in the regional, national, regional, and local communities. I applaud Sister Betty, who in her introduction talked about being able to establish a blueprint and then replicating the how-tos in other areas. So keep going with that because it sounds like it's needed. Brother Othniel had mentioned that two things. There were a lot of young people who have lost interest in, if they ever had it at all, because this is a new generation, but a lot of young people through the years have lost interest because of the stigma and more issues associated with farming as well as environmental issues. Before I ask a question, I'm actually going to check out this next message. Okay, Betty. Betty says they are not mandated, but sometimes, depending on their project, they magam work with youth. Okay, specific question to the panelists in regards to specific action, specific technique, and anything else that you have in your African bag of tricks that can spike the youth interest on a large scale. The youth are our future. You youth are dynamic, and just based on your presentation, the future is very good, but we need more numbers. So what say you, panelists, all of you, in regards to what have you done, what are you doing, and what will you do to spike the youth interest in the most significant way? Thank you. We'll start with Othniel.
Okay, thank you very much. With my part, I think every opportunity I get to speak to the youth during school forums, during programs, I do encourage this youth. I personally am a farmer. I call myself a farmer student. I remember my course made you to bother me that an agribusiness student, why worry yourself so much on the farm? What is it your problem? All you have to do is to go on the farm or relate with these farmers, get their produce and sell, or make market or business out of agricultural produce. You need not to farm. And I also tell them always that it's all about you farming, even to be a middleman, a middlewoman, You need to know the quality of produce and foods grown on the farm so that you'll be able to serve your customers with healthy and wholesome food. So going as part of my service or training also really helped me to identify all these things. So I encourage them. I'm always proud to tell anybody I meet that I'm a farmer. A farmer is not always as we see, but the little education and the little effort to learn and then open-minded, you wouldn't be like an ordinary farmer, but you could do more than they are doing. So I always encourage them and I use myself as an example. And it's really, really, really good.
Perfect, perfect. And Sister Betty or Gloria, starting with Betty and then Gloria, your comments.
I think Gloria can go.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll take this. Yeah, I think one way that personally, I've also been engaging young people and then, creating awareness and getting them involved in the whole climate movement is through social media. We all know how much the youth has held on to social media and everything that goes on there. So one of the ways through which I and my organization as well, we engage young people is through social media, creating of content for them to like, animated content, sometimes some short messages, just to get their interest in it. Also, we have the Ghana Young Environmentalist Program, which is a 5-year-long training for young grassroots environmentalists. So just like recently ended, we had 281 participants that we trained, mentored, and then we're able to coach them to develop their inner skills to be able to identify issues in their respective regions. So we had regional reps identifying a problem, an environmental challenge in their community, and then developing their own strategies as to how to address it. Some chose advocacy, action, some also engaged with community heads, some did communal cleanup and all of that. I think these are some of the ways that we are trying to get the young people involved, try to raise more awareness, try to make the climate change issue look very serious to them so that we all take action together. Yeah, thank you.
Outstanding. Excellent comments, Sister Gloria. Sister Betty?
Okay, thank you. So one way we, or myself, or my organization, is also capacitating youth is by our Echo Club that we've established within the various universities. Currently, we have more than 300 members of students within those clubs. And with these clubs, we are able to take them through dynamic trainings, capacity trainings, buildings. We take them to projects. We create space for internship within our network for them to work with us hand in hand. In turn, we are building a capacity in terms of green jobs, because green jobs is not really prioritized or even aimed for in school. I recall when I entered university, I never thought I'll be an environmentalist today. Today, not only am I happy to be an environmentalist, if you had asked me 3 years back, I should have told you this, but I'm not sure what I've told you. So this is one way we are also helping them. And apart from that, we've created YCC here in Ghana called the Youth Climate Council. This originated from Green Africa Youth Organization. We are hoping to be able to upscale youth voices in terms of climate action. And we want to position this particular council within the ministerial government so that we can be able to capacitate youth, create the opportunities for them, give them the necessary education, bring them forward so that they can in turn advocate for climate and the necessary action that demands. Yeah, thank you.
So hear me clearly and carefully, everyone that can hear my voice. I want you to unmute your mics if you can. Of course, you'll mute them back here in a second, but unmute your mics. And from the bottom of your spirit, from your soul, I want you to just give your heartfelt thank you in any way. You can ululate, clap, but let's thank our panelists for today. Thank you so much.
Medasi.
Thank you all.
Bravo.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you again very, very soon, very soon. We encourage everybody to join the mighty network of Black Sustainability Network. Some good information is coming soon, so be on the look for that. Speaking of the Black Sustainability Network, there are some good changes that are coming up, some upgrades. And to be connected, to stay in tune, here are some contact information for you, info@blacksustainability.org, and then the blacksustainabilitysummit.com website as well. And again, Medasi Pa to our boobs, our Black owned and operated sponsors, Black Handcraft, the Collard Green Festival Collective, Sustainable Community Solutions Network, the Eco Womanist Institute, and ADIKI, Aya International Development and Indigenous Knowledge Institute. Our summit, this particular keynote session came kind of in between. So thank you for sticking, all of you who are still with us, thank you very much for sticking with us right until the end. However, from 12 noon to 1, Mason Olanade, as we speak, probably is still conducting. If not, he's wrapping up or he's finished. But we can make it fertile, African ways of building healthy Black soils. Then from 1 to basically 2, restoring our planet and people with Ost Neferka Het Heru. And then from 1:30 to 2:30 is Mwalimu Baruti and his topic to educate a people, solutions. So on behalf of our panelists, our youth panelists today, my name is Njideka Kamo, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, and Yebeshi Abio. Bye-bye.